Oh my god, I'm gonna... Ah! Ah! You have no idea how excited I am! Ah!
Bro, chill out.
Could Takar's knife really be an effective weapon? Ah! Guys, ladies, gentlemen, girls, attack helicopters! Guess what? We're gonna get a new Jurassic Park game! Woo! What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here!
No.
I got hype to maintain, goddammit! Ah! I'm not gonna be able to get rid of you, am I? No. Okay, so, friends, Jurassic World Evolution. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, it's real. Okay, for those who don't know, unfortunately, I cannot provide the trailer for this thing. Okay, I'm gonna need you to leave. I'm gonna close the door. Now! So, Jurassic World Evolution. It is a game like one of my favorite games of all time. 1 second. Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. You know, the thing that makes you build your own Jurassic Park, and if you're cruel, kill people by throwing them into the dinosaur pit. Besides, it is finally getting a successor in the Jurassic World continuity called Jurassic World Evolution. And the best part about it is the first trailer is out right now. Because at a Gamescom pre-conference meeting type dealy, Xbox was like, we got a world premiere for you bitches. And Frontier Designs, I think that's the company, who also made Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 and Thrillville, are behind this game, and they got the world premiere reveal. Now, the way they revealed it on the Xbox thing... Hang on, I gotta put on my hat of amazing, epic, awesome times. What the fuck? There we go. This hat, Jurassic World, because I'm awesome like that. The thing with how they did that reveal was they did it in such a way in which it made it look like it was an Xbox exclusive. At least it tricked some people into thinking that. It is not an Xbox exclusive. Thank the gods! It is coming for PS4, PC, and Xbox One summer of 2018. That is quite a wait, but I don't mind, because it also ties in with the Jurassic World sequel, Fallen Kingdom. And for a little while I was actually tricked into calling it Jurassic World Kingdom because I had those two titles all mixed up. But I've got a list of shit that I need to talk about for this game and speculate and all that jazz, so without further ado, let's jump into the hype machine! Woo! By the way, I'm just gonna say right now, I know I'm being ridiculous with my hype, and it's probably not gonna be as good as I make it out to be, and I get that. This is just a very, like, oh my god kind of game for me, and I'll explain why momentarily. Alright, so, the first point I want to talk about, the trailer itself. It's not all that good, really. I mean, okay, it's great, but what I mean is that it isn't a gameplay trailer by any means. It's your typical CGI mini-movie announcement trailer type dealy, where it has a very Jurassic World-esque opening where the T-Rex hatches. I thought it was an Indominus for a little bit. We'll get into that in a second. But it's a T-Rex, and we get the full-grown T-Rex, who then breaks out of her paddock right as people were finishing up and getting ready to turn on the electric fences, right, with some parasaurs, by the way. And the guy who's about to turn the switch almost gets eaten. Then, one of his buddies throws his phone at the thing and is like, yo, over here! And fucking runs. Unfortunately, he doesn't know the first rule of how to avoid getting eaten by a T-Rex and ran straight, which got him eaten. And then the Rex then chases after one of the paras, grabs it, and fucking like judo slams it into the ground. That looked fucking sweet. I'm really sad that I can't show you that. Mainly because it's A, brand new, and B, key interval problem with SHAREfactory that I've talked about a couple of times before. Now, it also shows that this is when I knew that, holy shit, this is gonna be my kind of game, like, oh my Jesus! Was when you saw the cursor get rid of some foliage, then get rid of the grass, and then place down a helicopter pad. I'm like, Such a sight! And then we kind of got the end little shot of kind of an idea as to like the expanse of everything. You got brachiosaurs and apatosaurs and other herbivorous dinosaurs, and you got like the John Hammond Innovation Center, and then you have the title Jurassic World Evolution, and then you have the T-Rex doing the iconic end of Jurassic Park thing, foot on Jeep, leaning forward, and then you get coming summer 2018. In the Xbox version of that trailer, it does not say coming for PS4, PC, and Xbox. It just says coming to at this time. And with but on the official Jurassic World Evolution Facebook or YouTube channel, I mean, they've got a Facebook too. I'll plug all of the things when I get a chance. But the important thing is that their main trailer on their channel, which only has one video anyway, and it's going to be used kind of like the Shadow of Mordor channel now for Shadow of War, and they're just going to put videos on there, which means they've got an ad campaign going, which I'm really excited to see what they do, because Gamescom is in a couple of days. So I'm curious, because it's releasing summer of next year, if they've got any gameplay or alpha builds or anything to show, or if it's just going to be a couple of trailers and talking about the game and that kind of thing. Either way, I'm excited for Gamescom. Between this and Injustice 2's second fighter pack, God, this week is going to be amazing. But it's time to move on to the next point. What kind of creatures can we expect in Jurassic World Evolution? Well, first off, we can definitely expect dinosaurs. That's definitely like a thing that's really going to happen. We will get dinosaurs. And we've got probably at least 5 dinosaurs confirmed for Jurassic World Evolution. We got Tyrannosaurus Rex, Parasaurolophus, Stegosaurus, Brachiosaurus, and Apatosaurus confirmed, based on the trailer. And that's basically it, but I would not be surprised if Jurassic World Evolution branched out from that. As much as I have despised recently Jurassic World the game and have gone back to Jurassic Park Builder by this company, Ludia has done actually a pretty good job of including multiple different kinds of animals, not just your T-Rexes and Triceratopses and Stegosauruses, all the famous dinos, which you gotta have the famous dinos for sure, but they included creatures like Guanlong, Monolothosaurus, Nazutoceratops, and a slew of amphibians like Sarcosuchus, Prionosuchus, Microposaurus, and they even got the rights to build their own hybrids, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what can I expect? I could probably expect between 25 and 30 different species of dinosaur. Very similar, again, to Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. I'm going to be comparing this game to this game a lot, because this is my favorite game of all time. I don't even play it that often, and it is still probably like if you asked me what my favorite game of all time would be, it would honestly be Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. This motherfucker was $150, and I bought him about 5 years ago, and I still love it to death. It is amazing. And this is actually published by Konami back when they were good. But they had 25 dinosaurs of 4 different categories: small and large, herbivores, and carnivores. We're looking at creatures like Dryosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Triceratops, Allosaurus, Velociraptor, and T-Rex, and those kinds of things. I believe 16 of the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis were from the movies, and 8 of them never had a movie appearance whatsoever, which was kind of interesting. It was kind of like split 2/3, 1/3, that kind of thing. It was very interesting. But I almost wonder if Jurassic World Evolution is going to take more from Ludia's games and have a huger variety, 40 or even 50 different creatures. And that might actually be the case, but it might be a sort of DLC thing, where way back in the day for things like Zoo Tycoon, you'd have expansion packs. Like for Zoo Tycoon, you'd have the base game, and then Zoo Tycoon Dinosaur Digs, you got 25-ish new creatures, as well as a bunch of new building options, and then Marine Mania all encompass that as well. It had the 25 other creatures as well, so you end up with a creature roster excuse me, almost 80 strong, which is huge. Not even mentioning the lagoon, because at least in Jurassic World the game, you could put multiple species in the lagoon, which in the movie only contained the Mosasaurus. So I almost wonder if what they're going to do with the lagoon in Jurassic World Evolution. Is it just going to be an attraction you can place in and have the Mosasaur be a thing? Or is it going to be tied in somehow to, like, oh, you can have Plesiosaurus and Onchopristis and other things like that, as well as the Mosasaur? I'm curious to see what they do with this, and I'm really excited because the creature possibilities are endless, especially with our next point, hybrids. Now, as many Jurassic Park super fans would know, all of the dinosaurs are technically hybrids, at least for the first 3 movies. They were all at least partially infused with frog or bird DNA in order to fill in the holes. But with Jurassic World, complete genetic infusement, like complete genetic codes for these dinosaurs are there. They exist. If you wonder why the velociraptors then don't have feathers, it's because of a null allele thing that was actually mentioned in one of the Jurassic World websites. You kind of had to do some digging to find it, but it was very interesting. Anyway, with those dinosaurs in mind, they being InGen and the Maserati Corporation, then decide to get interesting and have a true hybrid dinosaur. A dinosaur that is multiple dinosaurs at once. The chief components for this dinosaur are Tyrannosaurus and Velociraptor. And this became Indominus Rex, the villain of Jurassic World. A super intelligent hyper predator that was which could think on the fly and strategize, as well as with other dinosaurs in its DNA and other creatures like chameleons and rattlesnakes, be able to sense heat, like infrared radiation, and camouflage in its environment. Now this dinosaur weapon, for all intents and purposes, gets out and causes all kinds of chaos, as you can expect in a Jurassic Park movie. But it raises a possibility of more hybrids, and in fact, this was actually teased at one point, where on a monitor in a certain scene where Vic Hoskins gets eaten by a velociraptor, you see a Stegoceratops, Stegosaurus and Triceratops mainly. And that's interesting because it never makes a physical appearance in the movie, although it was going to at one point. It then would make a physical appearance in the mobile Jurassic World the game, as well as literally dozens of other hybrids, including Metria Long, which is a Metriorhynchus and Guanlong hybrid, and all kinds of crazy kooky hybrids. And these are owned by Universal and have been used in other media. In the Lego Jurassic World The Indominus Escapes, little short 25-minute movie that Lego actually made themselves, and you can watch on Netflix, at least in Canada. I'm reasonably sure in the United States it's the same thing. You can watch it, and you can actually see multiple Jurassic World the game hybrids. From straight up a Carniraptor that is just made in Wu's lab, all the way to cameos from Stegoceratops and Ankylodocus, and all kinds of things like that. It's really weird to see creatures that originally showed up in a mobile game to show up in a short film. Which then leads to this question. What hybrids can we expect in Jurassic World Evolution? Now obviously this video is going to make huge reaches. Like massive. And I'm 80% confident that I'm going to get at least some of this wrong. But that's fine. I'm way too in love with this idea to not do something like this. So as a result, I've kind of got an idea as to what could happen. It could be kind of like Jurassic World the game, where after a certain point, you can create your own hybrids. Maybe you get a really high star rating or something. Like you get 4 out of 5 stars or something like that. And then, if you have the resources to pour into it, you can research in the lab how to develop hybrids and then breed your own hybrid dinosaurs. Which, let's say for Indominus Rex, it's amazing, it's glorious, people love to see this thing, especially the thrill seekers that love to see this thing rip goats apart and stuff. But the hybrids would come at a risk of some kind. Not necessarily just how expensive they are. Like, Indominus will want to break out a lot, so you would need a lot of security around this thing so to make sure that it doesn't do anything crazy. And it might even be immune to... It's actually mentioned in the trailer that non-lethal responses were used on the Rex, so maybe instead of you have no choice, you have to try and kill the Indominus Rex, or it's going to totally destroy your park, short of maybe getting a T-Rex and a Velociraptor to team up to bring that fucker down. Other hybrids we're probably going to see Stegoceratops. That's another hybrid that's kind of gotten popular in recent days among the Jurassic Park community. And other hybrids, we'll probably see some of them plucked from the mobile game, Ankylodocus, Spinoraptor, that kind of thing. We might even see some brand new hybrids, like, let's say we get an Allosaurus and a Therizinosaurus, and then you hybridize it, and then you get an Allozinosaurus or something like that. That would be pretty cool, and I really think that hybrids are going to be involved somehow in Jurassic World Evolution, because how couldn't it be? Because hybrids are a big part of Jurassic World, and later in the sequel, it's rumored that there's going to be an Indoraptor, like a smaller Indominus. And that could be another one too. I could see an Indoraptor making an appearance as possibly a placeable hybrid in Jurassic World Evolution. But it's time to move on to probably the least interesting part of this, the human characters themselves. Now, in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, Jurassic World the game, and Jurassic Park Builder, you have human characters that act as kind of people to help you out. Like in the mobile games, you'll have like Alan Grant and Owen Grady giving you missions to do. Whereas in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, you would have these people kind of be like little hinters, or like, you should do this, or we need to talk to you about this performance review, and that kind of thing. Where you would have like Peter Ludlow's your chief financial person, and he'll be looking at your finances like, dude, stop spending so much. And you'll have Robert Muldoon who'll be like, you need to up security, or the security is good here, that kind of thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jurassic World Evolution has something similar, but with Jurassic World characters. I could see Owen Grady being your dino specialist, like the guy to be like, hey man, one of your dinos is sick, you should go have a look. Barry might also be involved somehow, might be tied into that, maybe they share dual responsibilities. Hoskins would be your security detail. He'd be like, right when you start playing Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, if you have a dinosaur and no ranger station, Muldoon will be like, hey, it's nice that we have a dinosaur in the park. Now, how about we get a ranger station up pronto? And Vic Hoskins could do the same thing, or be like, you should probably put more security cameras. I'm getting concerned that people aren't feeling secure in this park. That kind of thing. And then you'd have Claire, who would be your financial person. Mr. Masrani would replace John Hammond, because John Hammond is dead, as the CEO, being like, you're doing great work, keep it up, or we should probably introduce a new dinosaur at some point. People are getting bored. I don't know right off the top of my head who could be financial. You get the idea, though. You get these characters to play certain roles in this sort of thing, and most, if not all of them, are tied to InGen in some way, or the Masrani Corporation, because it would be weird to see Gray and his older brother give you tips on how to build a park, because that wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense, because they're kids. But I could totally see Claire in her role as the financial person, or seeing how things are going on in the park, among other things. You could even have a new character like they did with Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, who was the visitor relations person. Her name was Jane Powers. She also did the announcements, like, let's say you've got a T-Rex in the park. She's like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our newest 5-star attraction, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Something along those lines. And I really think that could be super interesting, and I would not mind seeing something like that. Obviously, you're also going to have your cleaners and your security people and staff of that kind, but they're not going to be talking to you, as it were. You'd be hearing mainly from Claire and Owen and Vic and all of them. Now we got to move on to missions, like special missions, and maybe a story mode? Alright, so another thing that has kind of come to my attention is that there's probably going to be missions/campaigns. Things that if you've played Roller Coaster Tycoon or Zoo Tycoon, you'd be familiar with. Like, oh, we need the park at a certain rating and a certain time with a certain amount of animals in order to potentially unlock stuff. And that makes sense, and that would be super duper cool. Like, for instance, say there's a mission that you need to build a Jurassic World that has a bunch of carnivores. Or maybe you have to play as a helicopter and save people from the park that if it just goes tits up, as it were. Just like some of the helicopter missions in Operation Genesis. And again, like I said, a lot of comparisons to Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. I understand that. But keep in mind that that's really because that's the only game that I can think of that's close enough to this that I would see. This is like the closest thing I can think of to a modern Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. And that's why I'm comparing it to this so much. And we don't have any actual gameplay. So it's really hard to gauge what's the what. So bear with me on that. But one thing that will probably separate it from both Jurassic Park Operation Genesis and the Jurassic World and the Jurassic Park mobile games, and I guess Zoo Tycoon to an extent, is story mode. I could totally see there being a story mode. And I even have an idea in my head on how something like that would work. And before you scoff, story mode in a park simulator? Are you kidding me? Mortal Kombat 9 made story mode standard in a fighting game, and that used to be thought of as impossible. So, understand that this is another big swing. But, here's how I think this could work. It begins in the year 2000, okay? New millennium, fresh start. And the Masrani Corporation has bought InGen and is going to start making its own dinosaur theme park. It's going to make what would become Jurassic World, which, by the way, opened in 2005, according to canon in the story mode. So, in the story of Jurassic World. So, what that would mean for this story is that it could be the precursor to this. Like, you could get cutscenes of, like, I'm the guy who's going to help build Jurassic World, and I'm going to get Claire and all these people, and it could be, and because these would be movies, basically, it would look stellar. And this game is probably going to look amazing on this kind of hardware. Hell fucking yeah. But with that in mind, what would happen from here is that you would enact certain chapters. Like, you would progress certain parts of the park to certain points, and maybe let's say chapter 1, getting the infrastructure up and getting everything ready to go, while Claire goes to get the permits to make this thing or whatever. And then chapter 2 is breed your first dinosaur. And that's exactly what you do. You have to get all of the stuff that you need to breed your first dinosaur and move on through that. And it could even end with the final chapter being you create the Indominus Rex. You as the player get all of the resources that you need to make the Indominus. And that is when shit goes tits up and the movie kicks in. Wouldn't that be fucking sweet? I mean, the chances of this happening are super slim, so understand that. But that would be fucking cool. I would be all over that shit. And now we gotta move on to another really brief thing. I'm not gonna double it up. It's the release date. When exactly are we going to get Jurassic World Evolution? Hopefully fucking soon. Now, unfortunately, how do you define as soon? Because summer of 2018 is when this game is coming out. That's a very broad release date. That's from June 1st to August 31st. And technically all the way to September 21st if you really wanted to count that. But summer is more of a fall sort of thing. So June to August is generally how you would consider it to be summer. Now, that is a bit worrying because that is actually kind of soon when you think about it. Because it's August 20th as of recording this video. So we could be looking at this game in a year's time. That's pretty soon, and I'm a little bit worried about how long has this game been in the oven. Has it been in the oven for a couple of years and thus would be released as a full game right away? Or has it been in the oven for a year or two at the most and be released as a sort of piecemeal thing that a lot of games are doing these days with like season passes and shit? Or is it going to get delayed a fuck ton and we're not going to see it until 2020? Now, here's the problem with that last one. And by problem, I mean, here's why I don't think it's very likely. It's a licensed game. It's licensed by Universal, the guys behind the Jurassic franchise. And as a result, I really don't think that they would want to delay this game a whole lot. So we are probably going to be seeing it released within that time window. The problem is, I really, really hope that when it releases, it's good. I can't stress this enough. I don't care when this game comes out. I just want it to be good. Like, even if it's a 6 out of 10 out of the gate, I'll fucking take it. And then with each update, it adds more stuff. I'd fucking take that. Just make sure the game doesn't suck, goddammit! I've been waiting for this game for literally almost 15 years to happen! Please don't suck! And when could it actually release? Well, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes out June 22nd, 2018. Almost exactly 3 years after Jurassic World. So I'm thinking it would probably release late June to mid-July. That's kind of the range. I can't get much more specific than that, but that's my honest-to-God guess. And with that, and one more reminder to Frontier Development. You guys have a good reputation. You guys did Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. You guys did Thrillville. Don't fuck this up! Let's move on to everybody's favorite topic. Pre-order bonuses! Yay! And with pre-order bonuses, inevitably, that includes DLC. We're gonna have to talk about it. And before you say, why would you talk about DLC? DLC is bad. It isn't. On its own. Well, okay, so in a game like this, it would make a whole lot of sense for there to be DLC. Think about it. DLC is the ancestor of the expansion pack. And there have been expansion packs in sim games since forever. Like, I can even remember Zoo Tycoon getting its first expansion pack back in 2003. 2003! That's almost 20 years ago! Seriously, it's almost 20 years ago. You're old. In all seriousness, though, with this sort of thing, the DLC, it would probably be what you would expect. You'd probably a pack for skins for vehicles and maybe new dinosaurs and things like that. And that would possibly include a season pass that would be your first expansion pack. 10 different dinosaurs and 20 new building options for $35 or whatever the fuck. And that could make for a decent pre-order bonus. Pre-order now and get the season pass. Or even pre-order now for early access to the Indominus Rex. Or something like that. I really hope they don't make the Indominus Rex a pre-order bonus, because that would just be like, please don't. But, of course, that also leads to our friend microtransactions. And I know. Microtransactions are bad. The way they've been handled is bad, in my opinion. Microtransactions themselves are like DLC and expansion packs. They're not evil. It's whether they're worth it or not. That's why some of the older mobile games are actually some of the best ones to play, because some of the microtransactions in some of the older mobile games, like Jetpack Joyride, which, by the way, you can still download even though it came out in 2011, it's got microtransaction type things that are actually not that bad. Same with Mortal Kombat X. Obviously, you have your big primo, holy fuck, $100! But it gets you a fuck ton of stuff. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Jurassic World Evolution had microtransactions thrown in either by Universal or by Frontier themselves. And if microtransactions are going to be a thing, don't make them ridiculous. That's all I gotta say. And, of course, some people are going to be like, sir, that's fucking impossible. All microtransactions are ridiculous. And that's a fair opinion. But, I mean, explicitly ridiculous. Like, I don't want pay-to-win microtransactions, number one. And I don't want microtransactions that are ludicrously expensive. That's just no thanks. And DLC, that's fine too. I'm cool with DLC. It makes sense. It's kind of like an expansion thing. And plus, unlike the expansion pack where all of that content is on the disc and you had no choice but to get it all, at least with DLC you can have choice. You could be like, well, I want Allosaurus, but I can say fuck off to Kentrosaurus. By the way, why would you say fuck off to Kentrosaurus? It's a cool-ass dinosaur. But you could do that, and for, I don't know, $1.49 or something, you got Allosaurus, and that'd be fine. And or you could go with the season pass, and instead of spending almost $50 on content, you spend $35 and you get everything from there. That's probably what they're going to do, and I'd be totally fine with it. And said pre-order bonus that I mentioned would probably be the first season pass, and then maybe with a physical release, you could get stuff like a cool-ass statue of Indominus or like the Hammond Innovation Center or something. But there have been really weird pre-order bonuses in the past. Things from cars, from cars to condoms. I'm not joking about that, by the way. Infamous Second Son in Italy had a pre-order bonus that included really brightly colored condoms. It was really, really weird. So your pre-order bonuses could be pretty standard. Statues, steelbook casings, and season passes. Or it could go to the ridiculous. And if you want my opinion on what could be a ridiculous thing that I personally wouldn't mind, I would not mind, and this would be kind of cool, I would not mind a, 1/10 scale. 1/10 scale. So this thing is going to be 4.5 feet long and 18 inches tall. It's going to be a big thing. But like a 1/10 scale model of a T-Rex chasing down a poor motherfucker going, oh shit! Just like in the trailer. Which, by the way, I think that trailer could actually be the opening cinematic for Jurassic World Evolution. This tends to happen a lot these days where, the reveal trailer ends up in the game as, the opening cinematic. Do you remember the opening trailer for Mortal Kombat X where Scorpion and Sub-Zero were fighting in the forest? That is the opening cinematic for Mortal Kombat X Mobile. A few tweaks aside in, sounds and stuff, but it's the same thing, basically. So, I don't know, just a few thoughts that I had on the pre-order bonuses. And now I've got to do something very, very important. Super important. And that thing is plug all of their relevant information, all of their social media stuff. I can't do Instagram because I don't have an Instagram. But you can find it on their Facebook links, which their Facebook is here. Their Twitter handle is here. And if you subscribe to their YouTube channel, then you can get videos on new trailers or new Gamescom footage or anything like that. Which, that's another thing. Keep in mind, Gamescom is this week, from Tuesday to Saturday. So a lot of information could come out from Jurassic World Evolution, or nothing could come out. I just hope that it's the latter, or the former, sorry. I wish for it to be a lot to at least a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing a gameplay trailer. That'd be fucking cool. But if it's just another cinematic trailer that just kind of maybe shows off more dinosaurs and shows off more of the park, I'd be fine with that too. But now that I'm done plugging these guys, because I really want these guys to be supported, and I need to wrap up this video really quickly because it's been over half an hour, and I'm pretty sure you guys are getting really fucking sick of hearing me talk about a Jurassic Park video game for over half an hour and want me to get back to making fighting game videos. But I have a wish list of things that I really, really, really want to be a thing for Jurassic World Evolution. And that's mainly kind of what kind of dinosaurs I want to see and what kind of potential hybrids I want to see. Because if you know me, I'm a fucking dino nerd. You might not see a whole lot of it, but over there I've got a fuckload of dinos. So I'm going to quickly break down some dinosaurs that I really want seen, and maybe a few features as well. So I really want to see some more obscure dinosaurs. I want to see Borealopelta, which is a nodosaur that was actually discovered back in 2011, just a few hours from where I live, actually. And it was a superbly preserved dinosaur. It was almost too well preserved, said one paleontologist. having one of those things in the game would be a really cool thing, and honestly, as a Canadian, it would make me so happy to see several Canadian dinosaurs in here. Albertosaurus was in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, and I wouldn't mind seeing him back in the game as well. Another dinosaur that would be really cool is one thing that Jurassic World Operation Genesis or Jurassic Park Operation Genesis didn't do is all of their dinosaurs are from at the earliest the Middle Jurassic period, and it went from there to the Cretaceous, and very few of those no dinosaurs were from the Triassic or the early Jurassic. So dinosaurs from that time frame may have been sparse, but I would be super happy to see dinosaurs like Chilesaurus, Cryolophosaurus, Plateosaurus, Gojirasaurus. That's a real dinosaur, by the way. Gojirasaurus. And Coelophysis and a lot of these early dinosaurs in here, because that would be super cool and hella interesting. I also would not mind seeing a lagoon type thing where you can have different marine reptiles and large creatures in that lagoon. So it wouldn't just be Mosasaurus. Maybe there would be separate lagoons or something like that where you could go and see in the reef. You could see things like a Dacosaurus or a Metriorhynchus, a Plesiosaurus, different kinds of ammonites. Hell, Megalodon instead of a mosasaur. Like, you could even have, like, different creatures that are designed specifically for shows. Like the mosasaur, which it has a show where it comes in and chomps on a great white shark. Now imagine something similar to that, but with a fucking Megalodon. And I know some of you Megalodon fans would be happy as shit about that. So, that could work. Megalodon would work wonderfully. And, if possible, don't take my word for this, because this only really happened in the mobile games, but I would not mind seeing a Cenozoic extension as well, where you could have Smilodon, Indracotherium, woolly mammoths, Megaloceros, these prehistoric mammals. Because in some respects, these prehistoric mammals were almost cooler than the dinosaurs. I know, it's fucking weird. How could something be cooler than a dinosaur? Well, if you take an armadillo, grow it to the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, attach a 40-kilogram spiked mace ball on the end of its tail, and give it the armor to withstand being attacked by just about anything, that's fucking cool, and that's a real animal called Didacurus, spelt like this. But something like that would be super duper cool, and if this is not in, I would not mind, but I would also be kind of sad. In Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, you could fly any of the security helicopters you have on the island. So if you have different ranger stations and you're not confident that the guys who are automated are going to do it themselves, you can go fucking do it. And you can even take control and start firing at dinosaurs. How fucking sweet would that be? Granted, I wouldn't kill them, but that sort of thing would be fucking amazing. That would be huge, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? I know it's been 38 minutes, and you guys want me to shut up. But before I do, I have to ask you, what would you want as features or as creatures or anything like that in a Jurassic World Park Simulator game? Something that you can make your own sort of Jurassic Park. I really want to know what you guys think, because frankly, I love hearing you people comment, and that would be super cool to see like different features that maybe I didn't think about that. Wouldn't that be sweet? But we're gonna have to wait and see until Gamescom if we get any more information. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll be seeing a lot more Jurassic World Evolution content on here soon. It might even outpace my fighting games for content. Wouldn't that be nuts? I hope you enjoyed, and as always, DFTBA, motherfuckers. You know how fucking excited I am. I'm just gonna do this one more time. Oh yeah!